No, thank you very much, House Chairperson. So the Secretary General of the EFF yesterday collected an LLB degree from the University of South Africa with 18 distinctions.
Yo.
So he says that it is common cause that the expropriation of land without compensation discourse has been championed by the economic freedom fighters. And of course, the ANC took a resolution in the 54th conference that said that there must be, as part of the mechanisms, expropriation of land without compensation. But there are beginning to be some quasi-legalistic, narrow, non-political views from members of the National Executive Committee, like charlatans like Godongwani and Jeremy Cronin, are beginning to speak in double tongue in terms of whether we're going to expropriate land without compensation and whether we're going to change the
point of order. House Chair.
Honorable Shavambu, can I just take the point of order, please? Yes, Honourable Member.
Is it parliamentary to call a member of parliament a charlatan?
No, Honourable Shavambu. Let's address the members in a respectful term and withdraw that remark, please.
We'll deal with that.
No, Honourable Shavambu, you must withdraw that remark.
Mr. Cronin, yes.
No, just withdraw the word charlatan, please.
Mr. Cronin, but the word charlatan means a person who claims to know something which does not know.
Just withdraw the remark, please.
But there's no rule
let's get on with the business and withdraw the remark.
Okay, that's fine. Let me withdraw. I'll come back to that later on.
You've got a few seconds left to ask your question, eh?
In your response, President, I'm too cash to come in. Ngaku ama rukona kona kali yako ifana iteka msaba nga hakelanga. I am too cash na ngwena ngaku na ngwema ilahla swisuku. Ateka msaba kumbe I take now. So question equal, are we going to expropriate land without compensation? Are we going to change the constitution because the mandate of this house is that we should expropriate land without compensation, and we must engage in process which ultimately should amend Section 25(2) of the Constitution that says that all expropriation should be subject to compensation. Please come out clear this time. Thank you very much.
The Honourable President.
Thank you. Honourable Shibamb. Resolution lay nga tekiwa ka 54th conference ya ANC na tshemba ku ri mi hlaye kahle ni tshemba ku ri loko mi heta ku yi hlaya mi zi mi vona ku ri no swantswa n'wina mi ri EFF mi tsutsuma swinene mi tsutsume swinene mi ta laha loko mi fika laha mi ku no resolution leyi nga tekiwa ka conference se hi lava ku yi endla ya hina manjeni.
On a point of order, Chair.
What is the point of order, Honourable Member? Order, Honourable Members. What is the point of order?
So the common cause I spoke about earlier, so the President is not...
What is the point of order?
The President is misleading the House deliberately because the founding manifesto of the EFF...
No, Honourable Member...
The election manifesto of the EFF...
That's a point for
which
debate.
happened before the ANC conference.
Honourable Shavambu...
Have got clear commitment to expropriation...
That is a point for debate. Please take your seat now.
We do not take anything from the ANC. Instead,
Honourable
the ANC
Shavambu,
is learning from us.
please take your seat now. Thank you.
Position.
Honourable President... The Honourable President.
Chair.
Yes.
President, first cardinal pillar of EFF.
No, Honourable Member, please take your seat. Honourable President, will you respond, please?
Honourable Speaker, House Chair, I can see that I've touched a very sensitive chord. Now, no, Honourable Shibambu, I was just merely stating the historical evolution of how this resolution came to Parliament, and basically saying, in December, the governing party at its 54th conference took a resolution on the expropriation of land without compensation. Very clear position. And I want to repeat, soon after that resolution was taken, the EFF was the first in class to come to this parliament to say, we are now going to appropriate that resolution of the African National Congress. We are now going to put it before Parliament. And that's what you did. Now, I want to credit you.
Point of order.
Honourable President, will you just take your seat? Why are you rising, Honourable Member?
I rise on a point of order because the President is misleading this House and the public. In this way. In this way. He says his account.
Chair, House Chair.
House
Chair, just before that. No. House Chair, just before that.
Chair, stand up on a point of order. Can you please protect me?
Order, honourable members.
Can you please protect me?
Honourable member, I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you. Order, honourable members. Yes, make your point, honourable member.
Deliberately mislead this House and the public in this way. He says in his answer, he gives an accurate account of the evolution of the resolution and the public discourse on the land.
So what is your point of order?
Without compensation. Now here is the right and correct evolution.
No, honourable member, we've gone through this, really.
I'll say.
No, honourable member, I think you must take your seat.
I'm saying that the President is misleading the House.
Please take your seat, honourable member. Please take your seat. Why are you rising, honourable member?
Chairperson, the member says the President is deliberately misleading the House. Deliberately misleading the House is unacceptable and is casting aspersions on the person of the President.
Honourable member, that you say the President is deliberately misleading this House, then you must withdraw it. If you don't want to withdraw it, honourable member, then you must leave the House. Honourable Matiase. No, honourable member, I'm busy. No, take your seat. I'll come back to you. I'm busy dealing with the honourable Matiase. I'll come to you.
Nobody, Chair, he is...
No, take your seat, honourable member. Please take your seat. Honourable Matiase, are you going to withdraw the remark?
And Matiasa is not going anywhere.
No, honourable member.
Matiasa is not going anywhere.
Honourable...
This House is proceeding very well. Now, Papa, you're messing up everything.
Take your seat, honourable member. Take your seat.
Matiasa is not going anywhere.
Take your seat. Honourable Matiase.
The President, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, is deliberately misleading the House and the public. I'm not prepared to withdraw
Honourable Matiase, will you please leave the House?
He's not going anywhere. You must call those.
Honourable Matiase, I've asked you to leave the House. You are refusing to withdraw the remarks, a serious allegation that you're making by saying the President is deliberately misleading the House. Honourable Matiase, will you leave the House, please? Honourable Shavambu, take your seat, please. No, I'm not. I'm dealing with the Honourable Matiase. I'm dealing with this point of order now. May I request the Sergeant at Arms to escort the Honourable Matiase out of the House, please. I'm dealing with this point of order that I made a ruling on, and afterwards I'll come back to you. Yes, honourable member.
There's there are technical things that you're making mistakes on here. First of all, you didn't ask the member to answer as to why he says deliberately.
Honorable member.
So that he can justify his point.
Honorable member. Order, honorable members.
But
order.
I'm not done. Two, can you show us in the rules book where it says you can't say a person is deliberately misleading the House?
Honorable member.
Can you show us those rules?
Honorable member, please take your seat now. I've made a ruling in this regard.
House Chairperson.
And I'm still busy. Honorable Shavambu, take your seat. Honorable Shavambu, please take your seat.
And allow someone else to preside.
Please take your seat, honorable member.
But I'm raising a...
Honorable member, your member has raised a point of order, and I'm dealing with that point of order now. Honorable member, please take your seat. I've dealt with that point of order. The Honorable Matiase has left the House. So that point of order has been dealt with. If you have any particular reason why you question my ruling that I, by the way, stand with, then you must approach the Rules Committee to deal with the matter. We want to get on with questions to the President now. No, honorable member, please take your seat. You are challenging a ruling. You are challenging a ruling, and I want you to take your seat, Honorable Shavambu. It is not going to happen. I'm sorry. I've got a ruling that I dealt with, and that ruling, that motion that you want to raise is not relevant to these proceedings now. Honorable President.
Chair, before the President.
No, take your seat, Honorable Member. I want to proceed with the President now. Please take your seat, Honorable Member. Please take your seat. We want to proceed with questions to the President now.
Chair, you have not...
Honorable Member, I've given you the rule that you must follow in dealing with this matter. Let's get on with questions to the President now. The Honorable President.
Thank you, Honorable.
Sorry, Mr. President, just a bit.
What is your point of order, Honorable Member?
Start taking leadership. That guy sitting there is useless.
Honorable Member, please take your seat. Honorable Member, please take your seat. Continue, Honorable President.
Thank you.
What is your point of order, Honorable Member?
Point of order, Chairperson. First, we want you to step down because you are doing the same
no, Honorable Member.
Done when Zuma was the president.
No,
you are
Honorable
doing
Member.
It again. You
please take
down.
your seat.
You can't chair the
please
House. You must
take
step
your
down.
seat. It's not going to happen, Honorable Member. I'm afraid.
Down. We want another person to chair
take
the
your
House.
Seat.
You must step down.
Take your seat, Honorable Member. Honorable Member, please take your seat. Honorable President, will you respond to the question that has been raised, please?
Thank you, Honorable
No, Honorable Member, I'm not taking further points of order on this matter. No. No, Honorable Member, your party is raising exactly the same point. I've dealt with this point of order. If you are unhappy with the point of order that was raised, you must take it to the Rules Committee. Please take it to the Rules Committee. You also, no, Honorable Members, take your seat. Honorable Shavambu, take your seat. We want to proceed to questions to the President. I've made a ruling and I stand by my ruling. Continue, Honorable President.
Thank you, Honorable House Chair.
I'm not recognizing Honorable Member. Take your seat. Please take your seat. No, Honorable Member, please take your seat and let's allow the President to proceed. I've made a ruling. I've responded to you, Honorable Member. Is it a different point you wish to raise now? Let me hear what you have to say.
Yeah. No, Chair. These proceedings have
What is your point of order, Honorable Member?
These proceedings have been going on very well and the President has been doing very well.
Yes.
You are messing up a very good process.
Honorable Member, I'm applying the rules of the House. Take your seat. Please take your seat now. You now saying exactly what you said previously.
No, I didn't say, I've never said this before.
No, take your seat, please.
Chairperson.
Honorable Member, take your seat. I'm not going to allow any further points of order on this matter.
Chairperson.
I want the President to proceed.
I don't think EFF is the only party
no, Honorable Members. Honorable Members, both of the EFF and I'm also requesting the ANC whip. No, take your seat, Honorable Member. Take your seat. I'm asking you to take your seat, please. Let us allow the President to proceed. No, Honorable Member, take your seat. Take your seat. Please take your seat. Continue, Honorable President.
Of order.
Honorable Shavambu,
Yeah, but can
why
you
are
please
you
take point of
rising?
order? What rule is preventing you to put a special urgent motion against you that you must step down now?
Honorable
Which rule are you
member,
using?
we are dealing with
But
questions
you are proposing
to the
that you must
president.
step down.
Honorable member, take your seat. No, I'm not going to step down. You can be assured of that. I've made a ruling and I stand by my ruling. Order, honorable members. Order. Take your seats. Honorable President, will you continue, please? Honorable President, will you continue, please? Honorable President, will you continue, please?
Thank you, Honorable
Take your seat,
House
please.
Chair. Thank you. Honorable Shivambu.
I'm not recognizing any further points of order on this matter. We are going to proceed. We are going to proceed, honorable members. Really, really. Please take your seat. I've made a ruling on a point that you are unhappy with, and you can pursue the National Assembly Rules Committee on this matter. Honorable member, is it different from what has been said earlier? Yes, honorable member.
Okay, thank you very much. Before the president can continue, please just step down.
Honorable member, take your seat, please. Take your seat. Continue, honorable president.
Thank you, Honorable House Chair. I was at the point of
No, honorable members, you are making repetitive points of order about the same matter. And I am not going to entertain a further point of order on this matter. I want us to proceed. Take your seat, please. I want us to proceed. Honorable President.
Thank you,
Order.
House Chair. If I may continue, I'd like to answer Honorable Shivambu's question. I was on the verge of saying,
Honorable Shavambu.
But allow us to speak.
The president.
Members of parliament were allowed
Honorable
to speak.
Shavambu, but you're raising the same point of
But
order.
allow members to speak. You don't know what they're going to say.
No, Honorable
Allow them to
Shavambu.
speak.
Honorable Shavambu, as the chief whip of your party,
Yeah, but allow them to speak.
can
I'm
you
here to
please
defend
take
my
your
members
seat
from
now,
speaking.
please? Please take your
My
seat.
members must be allowed to speak here.
Honorable members, you are raising repetitive points of
But allow
order on the
listen to
same
them.
matter.
Listen to our members.
And I am not going to allow
Listen
it.
to our members. Listen.
I am not going to allow repetitive point of orders.
But you must listen to members.
What is your point, honorable member?
Okay, thank you.
No, Chair, no.
Chairperson, thank you very much. Chairperson, our country finds itself at a crossroads simply because of distortion of history. The same happened with Sharpeville massacre. Again, the same thing happened with 1976 uprisings. A is the question of land.
Honorable member, please
Which
take your
we
seat. You're
are
making a
saying.
speech now.
No, it's not a speech, Chairperson. It's not a
What
speech.
is the point of order?
Distortion of facts.
Honorable President,
All that we are saying, Chairperson, is...
let's allow the President to respond.
No, Chairperson, please.
Take your seat, please.
As a member of this House, Chairperson,
Please take your seat.
will you allow the dissenting voice to be heard?
Honorable member, with all due respect, will you take your seat now, please? Thank you.
You haven't heard me, Chairperson.
Honorable member, please take your seat.
You haven't heard me,
No,
Chairperson.
honorable member, I've heard what you've said.
No,
I want the...
you haven't
No,
heard
take
me,
your seat,
Chairperson.
please. No, honorable members, the President is about to respond to a question raised by your Chief Whip, the Honorable Shavambu, right? The President will respond to that question now. If we do not allow the President to respond, then it will create a further difficulty for us that we do not want to go into. So can we allow the President to respond to this question, please? No, honorable member, I'm not going to recognize you. I've recognized you on 3 occasions, and you raised exactly the same point. Honorable President, I'm going to request you to continue, please.
Thank you, Honorable House Chair.
Take your seat, please.
I thank you for giving me this opportunity once again to respond to Honorable Shibambo's question, hopefully without any interruption this time.
What is your point now, Honorable Member?
Chairperson, the attitude you are using there, it tells us you must now step down. You are tired.
No, Honorable Member. No, Honorable President, please continue. I'm no longer taking points of order on the matter. Continue, Honorable President. No, Honorable Member, take your seat. Honorable Member, take your seat, please. Take your seat. Honorable Member, take your seat. I am not recognizing you, Honorable Member. Please take your seat. Take your seat. Continue, Honorable President.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable House Chair.
Honorable members, you are not the only members in this House. There are 380 other members waiting to listen to the President. And what you are doing now is gross disorderly conduct. And I can no longer tolerate that. I've made a ruling, and I stand by that ruling. I'm not going to change that ruling. If you are not willing to be part of these proceedings, then you are more than welcome to leave so that we can continue with the business of the House. This is really unbecoming. You can have your own issues and your disagreements with my ruling, but I stand by my ruling. Honorable President.
Thank you, Honorable House Chair.
Continue, Honorable President.
Thank you very much.
I'm not recognizing that member.
Honorable Shibambo, I had wanted to say...
No, Honorable Member, I'm not going to recognize you. Honorable Mashabela, will you please take your seat? I want to allow the President to continue. Honorable President.
Thank you, Honorable House Chair. I'd wanted to say to Honorable Shibambo that following the passing of the resolution of the governing party, the EFF introduced the motion here, which in a number of ways has unleashed, the adoption of that motion has unleashed a wonderful process, a process of debate, dialogue, discussion throughout the length and the breadth of the country. And indeed, as the motion states, as the resolution was, that we should now look at land in a different way. We should be able to use various mechanisms to deal with the land question, and one of those is the expropriation of land without compensation, taking into account that as we do so, we should not harm the economy, we should increase agricultural production as well as food security. That is the motion or the resolution of the African National Congress, which I believe in, which was passed by the 54th Conference, to answer your question directly.